defense looking?
Yeah, you know, we've got a long way to go. We've had some improvement. What I've been most pleased is the last 4 practices, we've gotten a little bit better each practice. You know, we stalled out and hit neutral about a week ago with the loss of so many players that were in the playing picture. You know, at one point we had the best pass rusher out. We had the returning leading tackler out. We had probably the 3rd best corner out. In fact, one day we practiced without 3 of the 4 best corners. And it's been a little bit, you know, lost, 1, 2, 3, I think 4 guys from the front in addition to D. And thank goodness none of them are extremely serious. We'll get them all back, but it hurts your progress in preseason camp when you got people missing. And that's been the biggest problem, is that we've just had a hard time making steady improvement over the entire big picture. But I've been pleased the last few days. Guys have given a lot of effort. We're doing a little bit more Washington State look. The young offensive guys that are doing the look have given us a good picture. So practice has been pretty good the last 3 days. You know, there's 2 things you can't control in football as a coach. One of them's injuries and one of them's the weather. You know, thank goodness we've got an unbelievable indoor facility, and we have not missed a beat from the standpoint of practicing. But frankly, we need to do a little bit more, and we haven't been able to with all the rain and poor field conditions. So hopefully that'll let up a little bit. We can get out in the heat and practice on the grass a little more frequently. But we've gotten plenty done as far as repetition. The injury bug, I mean, it's just part of football. It's something that, you know, it comes along with the nature of football. It's a game of collisions, and we've had some unfortunate situations. I don't know how long D is out, but he's certainly out for an extended time. Jonathan Jones had an accident off the playing field. That was a heartbreaker because he was doing such a good job and was going to see a lot of playing time. That was a critical loss to us. We had moved Holsey inside to safety. Got Jones hurt, had to move him back. Then we lost McNeil, so it's been a double whammy. So it is what it is. I mean, it's real, and it's something that's going to affect our ability to you know, how well we play. But that's football. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody else is going to get a chance, and they're going to have to answer the bell.
So is Josh going to play 2 positions, play safety and?
Right now, it looks like he'll play safety, but he'll be our dime on our long yardage package. Now, he can still move back to corner, but there's no way to prepare a guy in that many different spots in the course of a week. If we had to move him for a particular game, he could play some corner. I think, as y'all probably know, there have been some other guys moved around, and but we got to keep Josh at safety right now.
Who at this point, D, Justin, Jonathan Jones, who is sketchy or may not play August 31st?
I'm not informed enough to say that. I just know we're going to miss him the first game, and probably more than the first game.
All 3?
Who are the 3?
D, Justin,
D4, Justin Garrett, and Jonathan
Justin
Jones.
looks good. They're being very cautious with Garrett. He had a great spring. He was having a good camp. He does not have a real serious injury. He's got a foot sprain. And we're going to err on the side of caution. We're going to make sure we get him a full week of practice. He could have come back on it a day or 2 ago, but it's still a little tender. And missing a few days right now for his sake is the best thing. For our football team, it's probably, you know, kind of put us in a little bit of a herky-jerky progress, but we just want to make sure when he does come back, he is full speed and there's no threat of recurrence on that thing.
But the other 2, D Ford and Jonathan Jones, are going to miss that first game?
Oh, yes, no question.
Is there anyone else in the defense that you know of that's going to miss the first
Not
game?
right now.
Is D's a MCL sprain?
I think it's one of those CLs. CLs, ACLs, one of those CLs.
That was a practice injury, or?
He got his first scrimmage, about the first series. You know, freak thing, somebody's leg swung around, hit him in the side. Not real bad though, but thank goodness, you know, no surgery required.
Tell us the situation with Jonathan Jones. I mean, is that out for a while?
I don't know the length. I just know we won't have him for the first game.
Okay.
You know, we're having to prepare right now that we will not have him.
You said it was something that happened off the field?
Yeah, he turned that thing on some wet steps, I think it was, but it just snapped and it broke a bone in it.
Have you heard how his surgery went this morning, Jonathan?
Have not got the report. Coach may have, but I have not.
You went without Demetrius for the final 5 practices of spring. You put those issues aside. You went without him for 11 practices here. He finally gets back, and then in less than a week, he's dismissed from the team. Just what What was it like to go through that and to lose your leading tackler here in week 3 of camp?
Well, it's not good. I mean, you know, you don't want to lose your leading returning tackler, but at the same time, you've got to be a team player. I feel bad for him, and I feel bad about him. And you got a responsibility to your teammates and not to just yourself. So it's very sad, very sad.
Ellis, who are your starting defensive ends right now?
If we played tomorrow, now, we just got Kenny Carter back on the field. But, you know, if we play tomorrow, I don't know. But looking toward the first game, we're trying to get those older guys, the veterans, prepped up to be the starters. We don't want a true freshman in the starting role. But Elijah and Carl have come a long way, maybe 2 of our best pass rushers. They'll be situational players. Kenny's back on the field now, had a pretty good practice today. And as long as he doesn't have a recurrence of the concussion, you know, he'll be ready to go. On the other side, Nosa finally got back and got some reps today. I don't know how well he did. Rodney didn't say. I'll find out a little later today how he looked. So we're getting some of those nagging injuries. They all seem to heal up that first game. That injury list goes down to about 3. But they did have debilitating injuries, and we missed the rotation and the improvement in there, but they'll probably come back and take those jobs. And then we moved Ladarius Owens, you know, several practices ago, and he's way ahead of where we thought he would be. He's played the position before, and he's a little bit more of a role player too, but I think he can be an every down player to some degree. But he's given us some really good practice days. He's done some good things, made some big plays. So we got plenty of bodies there. How it all shake out for the starting lineup, I don't know. I know we're going to play more than 2 guys.
Who are you looking for depth at cornerback behind behind Davis and Minson?
Well, Cameron Melton, of course, is still there, and TJ's still there. If y'all know, we moved Jonathan. He's over there. So it's going to take him a little while to learn it. But he looks really good physically now. He's got all the skills, you know.
Who'd you move over there, Jonathan?
I'm sorry. I've gone blank. The running back.
Forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got some nicknames for him. I couldn't remember what it was.
Rudy Ford.
Rudy. They call him Rudy.
So is he full-time at corner now?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
For right now.
Now, let's talk about your star position. I guess Robinson's got a lot of work, and then backing around there too.
Yeah, the good thing about Garrett being out is that Threezy's gotten a ton of reps, and he has really improved. He has come a long way. And that's exciting, because I think when we get Justin back, you want some depth there, because you can't get through with just one guy there. And then we've tried King up there a little bit, and McEnroe's been working there, and they're still learning what we're doing. They're way behind the other 2. So we certainly hope Justin's going to be back. But Threezy's improvement has been really pleasing. I mean, that's been a bright spot for us over the last week or so when our football team was sort of stagnating with all these injuries. He was getting an opportunity to get better, and he did. So that was a positive. I would say that about those young defensive ends, too. It's given them an opportunity to have a lot of good repetitions against our better offensive linemen. And they physically, they can hang in there and play with them. They're just making a lot of mental mistakes.
Just to put your injury situation in context, how concerned are you almost exactly 12 days from the opener of fielding a quality defense for that first game?
Well, we're going to be fine with most all of them except Jonathan and D. I mean, we just got to realize they're gone. And I've been in situations where it was extremely worse. And I've been in situations where we just had a horseshoe and never lost a guy. You know, been in one season where we played with the same 11 defensive starters every game but 2. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You never know what's going to happen. You can't try to sit there and say it doesn't matter. But you can't sit there and say it's not going to give us an opportunity, because you just got to work through it. You know, everybody has this happen. Football players have to step up when they get their opportunity and take their turn.
At linebackers, Jake Holland continued to separate himself as the starter.
He's been very solid. Jake's been the most consistent for sure. But I've been pleased. Chris had a 2 or 3 days where he kind of went backwards. Just had some missed assignments and some things that were uncharacteristic he shouldn't have done. And Jake had more production in the two legitimate scrimmages we had. Jake just had more production, you know, had more tackles, more plays, had a pick, hadn't had as many missed tackles. He's cut those down. Casanova's been okay, but Casanova and Chris have been good. I mean, they're going to be fine. But Jake's been a little more consistent. I'm going to rotate 4 guys quite a bit. There's a battle going on over there behind McKenzie, and Swain right now is a little bit better because he's older, but Javier's had a good camp. He's making some progress. Kenny Flowers is a little bit behind because he just doesn't know all the scheme yet. So there's some competition there, but not as much as there is at Mike.
What about at safety behind those first two guys? What's it looking like there?
Well, you know, we moved Kyle, and he's coming along. Mentally, he's one of the quickest guys we've got. He's picked up the scheme, talking, making some checks. Those young JUCO guys and freshman guys weren't making for 2 weeks. So he's going to be okay in time. You know, just fundamentals and technique, and pulling the trigger, you know, seeing and reacting to things right now. He's sort of in slow motion, but it's coming along for him. Once he gets comfortable back there, I think he'll play quite a bit for us.
Yeah, Ryan Smith, Trent Fisher.
Ryan's right now is more game ready than Kyle. Ryan would have to go, and Ryan probably would start on our dime package at one of the deep safeties when we move Holsey up to dime. Has had a good 2 or 3 practices. Been working a lot of that package the last 3 days, and he's really done a good job.
Is Kyle, for the opener, is he second on that depth chart?
Yeah.
He seriously
I don't know that, you know, depends on how much progress he makes between now and then, whether we would put Ryan Smith in and move Whiteside over, or would we play Kyle? You know, we'll have to make a determination at game time. How ready is he? And we got some guys that can double learn. Whiteside and Holmes are really bright kids. They won't have any problem learning 2 positions. We'll just have to see how the repetitions come out. You know, if they're on the field a lot, they're gonna have to play. You can't leave a stripped player out on the field. We don't have to play many snaps. You know, don't know how much we'll use them that first game.
Is there any way to measure and to explain just how close Kyle is to that point where you wouldn't have to do that, he would be on the field?
No, I mean, I couldn't tell you something right now. I think he's learned everything we do, but right now, he just doesn't have that quick twitch and that reaction, and I think a lot of it's just eyes and knowledge. He knows the assignments, he knows the adjustments, but as far as keys and reaction and all that, some of it's still just a blur to him right now. But the amount of progress he's made in like the short 5 practices compared to what some of the other young guys did, it's been really good. He's going to learn a lot faster than they do.
When you're planning for Washington State and a team that's going to throw 70, possibly 70 times, and you've had all these injuries, when you're trying to establish who's going to be your 4 pass rushers, who's going to be the 5 or 6 defensive backs on the field, how hard has the last week plus been when you're missing all these guys and you're trying to game plan for?
Well, it hasn't been hard. I mean, what all these injuries did, it gave young players opportunities to compete, so they got better. As far as the best pass rushers, you know, we're always trying to find that group that we feel like can come on the field in an obvious passing down. Who are the best 4? And that's giving Rodney a chance to, you know, see what they can do. And Carl and Elijah and Owens have all shown some bright spots. And I think by the time we play, we'll have a group, you know, a special pass rush group that'll come on the field with our long yardage package. The DB thing has been a little bit more concerning. We were busting so many assignments back there when the older kids were banged up. It was hard to tell whether we're making any progress. But then again, you know, the opportunity to have practice and reps and make those mistakes, that's how they learn. So, yeah, every program in the country is in a similar situation. I'm sure everybody's got people out of the lineup. A lot of times in South Carolina, we said guys were hurt and we didn't want them to practice because we wanted to get them to the game field.